Welcome back to the Sound for More channel. It's Leo speaking. Today I have the pleasure to introduce you to Thump One from Toybox Audio. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Additionally, if you would like to participate in the giveaway, please do check the instruction contained inside the video description. Thank you again. So as you can see, we are inside the AUM and we are going to clear the session, create a new audio channel, and then we are going to choose Thump One from Toybox Audio. We wait that it loads and we connect it to the virtual keyboard inside AUM. So this is what it looks like. It's very nice, neat, simple, clear interface. So we are running it as an AUV3, but of course you can also run it as a standalone if you wish as well. It contains two engines, so is a multi-engine plugin. So the first one you can see it down here, the kick engine, and then the second one is the layer engine on the right hand side. The kick engine is based very much on a wavetable oscillator. On the second one, the layer is based on that supersaw oscillator from the JP8000 from Roland, which creates some very unique sounds. So what is great of this synth is the sound quality. As you can see from the icon, you have the symbol of a drum, but actually it can do much more than that. Of course, it is really great when it comes to actually kicks type of sound. Starting from the top, you have a selection here of the preset. You click where it says default, and then you can go to different categories of preset. You can initialize, randomize, mutate preset, import and export them, save them, delete them, etc., etc. And you have quite a large selection of preset, as I will show you in a moment. You can go left and right, the next and previous preset. You can adjust the level, and then here you have access to a menu where you can copy, paste the envelope, which is here in the middle. And I should say that the envelope is a multi-segment envelope, which becomes really handy when it comes to modulate the different parameters or knobs of the synth. You can show the internal keyboard, you can show the oscilloscope, you can go to the manual and to the website. Okay, and the manual is actually quite good as well. So here you can access to some of the settings, like resetting the phase, for example, the oscillator, avoiding duplication of notes, and you have in legato mode. You can have kick engine to go through stereo, then you can decide what you impact through velocity here. You can have velocity to table position, to pitch, etc. And then you set the intensity, of course, the velocity to volume. You can adjust the smoothness in case you hear some of those glitching, and then you can set the pitch band range. So pretty straightforward. Then here you can adjust the overall attack and decay through the envelope. You can adjust the overall pitch. Double click, of course, to reset it. And for each of the control, then you can adjust the gliding here. Okay, and then you can adjust the stereo, which acts on stereo image, which acts on choruses in the tuning between left and right channel. Undo, redo, and then of course showing the keyboard here as a shortcut. As I mentioned in the middle, you have this envelope, okay, which represents one of the parameters here. In this case, it is highlighted here, so it's the envelope for the punch. But you can go for the envelope for the table position, which is this one, the envelope for the drive, that analog saturation, the envelope for the buzz effect, the level, and that is of course for the kick engine. And you further can adjust here the pitch, the type of wavetable you have selected here, a filter here for the drive, and then you can adjust also, you can introduce buzziness, of course. and you can adjust the tone here. And then ultimately you can adjust alongside the level. You can also do additional modulation through an external oscillator. Works really, really nice. The quality of sound is really amazing. You can of course turn off the engine here, and then you have the engine, the layer engine here on the right hand side, which again you can turn it off here. You have free controls here, the tuning, filtering, and level. But then you have different modes of operating. So this one goes interval of fifth, interval of third, interval of minor, octave, unison, sub, bending, squelch. Squelch, yeah, dirt, fat, etc. And as you can see, when you go to noise, the tuning becomes statics as a parameter, and then FM as well with feedback, which is really great. And if you click here on the FM, you have access, of course, to the different selection. So let's hear some of the presets, because the sound, as I mentioned, is really good. What I should say also is, if you want to operate or change the multi-segment envelope, click and drag, like so. And if you double click, you create a new point. So it's pretty straightforward. Double click again on the point to remove it. So the synth itself is very, very easy to use. But let's go into some of the preset. We start with this acid chunk. And I should say, check your volume, because it will clip, and you can adjust it here at the level here for one engine and also the other engine. Or of course you can adjust it through AUM on the channel as well. But from a picking perspective on the audio source, adjust the levels here. Okay, let's go to the next one. It's really great to create those type of club sound, both for kick and bass as well. And you can see here how it's dropping in terms of double position, and in terms of punch position here. Can change the attack. So you can hear the sound is really, really deep. It's really, really nice. And decay, of course. More stereo. Let's move ahead, because again, the sound is what is really key on this synth. What I really like is also the representation of the oscillator, the oscilloscope, that gives you great details of what is happening on the specific output of the two engines. Here you can hear the sound is really nice. Adjust the overall volume here as well. FM bass, really great sound. Of course, nothing really complicated from an or sophisticated from an FM perspective, but it works really great. So this is great, this giant slug. And if you look at the different envelope for the parameter, you can see what is happening, right? So in this case, the level here is going up and then it's going to drop here at the end. But what you're going to observe as well is here the filter as well. So you have envelope for the filter here, and it is set in mode sub to get that deep effect. And of course, if you want to have fun, just change some of the parameter. Let's try again. So you can hear the sound is really great. Of course, immediate to drop here for this type of sound with a little bit of punch here. I like that it shows you where it is on the envelope as well, so you straight away know if that the segments on the envelopes are working or not. You can hear the mode in third here, which if I was to change it, you can hear the minor mode, octave, unison, and sub, of course, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's go to perhaps oh, this one might. You can see it was picking a little bit. Okay, let's go to perhaps some of the effect that would be nice to actually try. So you can create those very slow and long rise type of sounds or ramps. You can hear the quality of the sound. Look, in the layer engine is in FM mode. So lots of different type of presets, which are really great. So just with Thump One, you can create some really nice composition. Obviously, very modern type of sound, very fresh. But I want to also show you some leads. And here you hear that sound from the JP8000. Really nice, or similar, of course. hope you have headphones so you can hear the quality of the engine, because it's really superb. I'm going to stop here for this quick tutorial and demonstration. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, see you next time.